Okay, so I just basically want to show you guys how I've managed to get my 3D models in Flight Simulator 2020. So let's just get started. I'll start Flight Simulator in the background while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna use an airport DNAK in my country. Just create the folder. I just created the folder anywhere, and yeah. So comes to the when you install the SDK, go to the samples, open up the simple scenery, and then what I'll do is I'll copy over this package sources, package definitions, and scenery projects. So I'll just copy those over, and as the same loads in the background, and then I'll paste them all in here. So first of all, what you're going to do, I'm going to rename all this to like what's me I need for my senior. So like the airport is DNAK, so I'll just be using the airport's code for all this. So I'll just copy that DNAK. You can use anything you want, but like make sure like whatever name you put in here, you have to make sure like all subsequent ways that you're naming have to follow the same convention basically. Let me just start that, and then okay. So now that this has been renamed, we'll open it in notepad, and then since the former name was my company, anywhere you see my company in all the files I'm going to open, just replace them with what yours is going to be, whatever you renamed that first one to. So we'll rename this, and then open this, the package definitions again, same thing, look for my company. I don't know if you need to do this, but this is the way I've found that has worked for me, because the documentation is not really forthcoming on what we need to do. So again, name everything same, just DNAK. Yeah, can just leave these other ones, and then come to package sources, model library, and scene. Delete the object source XML here, and then model library deletes everything here too. Okay, so now that that's done, so I'm going to be creating two objects here, a tower and a terminal for the airport. So I'll just create inside the model library, create two folders, tower and terminal, and then I'll get my model from I was working on this for X-Plane, so just get the blend file and the textures, and actually tower first, tower, and then we'll copy over to terminal too, and terminal. So let's first do the terminal. So of course you need to have the blender to the MSF20 toolkit installed. I'll link it in the description. So just grab that, and then when you get that, all we're going to be using today is let's go into objects mode. Just select the objects, come over here, I don't know what it's called, material, whatever, and then select MSFS standard, sorry, and then select the albedo text. All the textures that I can select are here, but I'm actually not going to use the normal texture because I've been having some issues in the sim. I don't really know what I'm doing, so like I'm not really sure what to do about that, so I'm just going to leave that for now. So just select the albedo texture, and then we'll export that. So export extended GITF, and then we'll make sure this is on this one, and then I'm gonna name it something that I can easily recognize, because you see why I did this later. So just name it something like accurate terminal or something, and then for the textures here we'll just put dot and slash texture, and make sure this is on, and then open this, generates, and puts the same name as the file here, and generates the GUID. And I just again, I'm not too sure if this is how it's supposed to be done, but this is what I've found that has worked for me. So if anybody feels like there's a better way of doing it, then please let me know. So we'll export that, just make sure it's exported correctly. Yep, so you can see it has exported the BIN and GLTF, and you can see the textures. The texture is in here. So we'll now open the tower and do the same thing again. save this. Again, same, go to materials, open up, go to standard. I'll select the albedo texture. Okay, that's selected. We'll export that as well. And again, name it something that I can easily search for later, because we're going to be searching for the texture in the for the object in the same. Again, same. I don't know why anytime I click remember export settings, it actually doesn't remember for the next file. I think that only applies to the same file. So anyways, generate GUID, include and apply, and we'll export and make sure everything is as it should be. Texture is there, perfect. So now that I've done this, what I'm gonna do is come back to the that simple scenery. So we'll go to the simple scenery from the samples, and then we'll go to package sources, model lib. I open the sample my box, and then what I do, I'll copy this XML into this for both of the objects. So copy it in here and then paste it. So what you're going to do, open the XML, the regular one that was created, open it in notepad, and then this number here we're going to copy it, and then copy the number here, open the sample my box, and then replace it. You see it has the same type of number, so just replace the number here and then save. And then what we're going to do is just rename this and copy the name, delete it, and then rename the sample my box to the same thing, and then go to tower and do the same thing. Now some people, the reason why we're doing is because this needs to be on a higher version, but some people said you can just change this right here to 1.1 instead of 1.0, but I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, it's not really working for me. So this is the other way I found that I could just do it again. Oops. Open it and then paste it again, same thing, and then we'll copy the name, we'll delete that, and then open the sample my box and then rename it. Okay, so I've done all that now. Okay, so now we're in the sim. So what we need to do now is go to make sure the dev mode is enabled, and you can do that in general settings, and then open, and then what we're going to do is go to the main folder and then select the first XML that is here, and then just open that. Okay, so now that's open. So what we're going to do here, we'll come click on this, so you can just fill in all your information here that you need to make. In fact, just except you're making an aircraft, don't fill this in. So I'm just gonna put this company name. I'm just gonna leave everything as DNAK. You can put it whatever, you can put it as whatever you want it to be. And okay, so that's all in. Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do now is click on build package and save, and it will take a minute or two, so just wait for that to finish. Okay, and then just come here. What we're looking for is just to make sure here it says, it doesn't say anything. If it says one failed or something, then that means we did something wrong, you know. So now that that has been done, this step I usually just restart the sim after I do this, because for some reason the objects don't load in for me. I don't know, maybe there's something I'm supposed to do, but I just simply restart the sim after I do this. So we'll restart the sim and we'll come back. Okay, so now we're back in the sim. So we'll go back here, open up the same package, wait for it to load in. Okay, so now what we're going to do this time is click on this and then open the my scene. You can also rename it to anything else if you want to, but I'll just leave it on my scene, and then click on load in editor. So once you do that, then this is why I told you to make sure you named your file something easy. So you can come here to the, if this doesn't open up, just click on view and then click on objects and then type in, wait, it's still loading, it takes a second to load in all the different objects. Okay, here we go. So type in the name. So you see, this is why it's, because if I just name it terminal, it will be harder to see. So just click on the object and then click on add. Okay, and here you can see the object has been added. So you can just move it and move this out of the way. Use the green stuff here to move it around and then click on the middle mouse button to switch to rotation and then rotate it where you want it to be. So click on the middle mouse to go back, and then you have the terminal is here somewhere around here basically. Yeah, this should be good. Okay, and then we'll come and we'll add in the tower as well and click on add. Oops, wrong one. Okay, and here is the tower. Perfect. So drag it over to where the tower is. It's over here. Okay, and then click on the middle mouse button again to rotate. Yeah, and then if you want to scale the object, you can use this one to scale it however you want it to be, but you already have the correct scale from Blender. Okay, so we have the objects, and then also if there are any buildings over where if there was another autogen building on here, you can just click on polygons here and then add a polygon, and then it's actually click on one, click placing, add, and then just click, press Control, and then why isn't one click placing working? I'm not really sure if I got that correct, but I'm pressing Control and clicking on my keyboard right now to place the points, and then when you're done, click on enter and then click on it and then right click properties, and then you can select if you want to include buildings, vegetations, all that. I'll just exclude everything. And then one thing I would suggest is make sure if you are doing this for like an airport, make sure you leave this polygon stuff for last, because for some reason, like when I save the scenery, the polygon doesn't really, when I reload it again, the polygon doesn't come. I don't know why. So yeah, and then you can just create the airport. So create the airport as well, add, also come here, right click, put in all the details. I'll quickly put all this in. Okay, so I've put in all the details, and then from there you can just keep on creating the airport. So you add the runway, just make sure so what's the runway number here? I've forgotten actually. Oops, oh yeah, this is what one click placing does. I forgot. Let me just delete that, and then the runway number here is 03. Okay, so click, I usually use the primary number first, so click on that and then add. Where was this? Delete that, and then put in all the properties for the runway. So configuration, length. So let me just hide this. I'll just move it. I'm still figuring out how to work all this stuff out. So then you can just move the runway where you want. Oops, I got the wrong one. Okay, move it where you want, and then click on this. Actually no, not that one. Click on the edge here and then rotate it, and then you can, here in the properties tab, you can put in the length in here. So let's say like 3000 meters. Yeah, So basically just build your airports, and then when this is just like a quick example, I'll just see this is the runway, and then we're finished building the airport. So what we're going to do now is, let me drag this out. This is a very important step. So what you're going to do is save the scenery. So once you click on save the scenery, what you're going to do is go to package sources and scene, and then you save the shape files. Make sure the shape file you save it as a different name from what you're going to save the BGL file. So for the shape file, it's common first DNAK SHP. We'll save that, and then for the BGL in the same scene folder, just name it DNAK or whatever I want to name it as. I suggest just keeping the same naming convention for everything so you don't run into issues. So save that, and then that has saved. So now you have finished with your scenery. You want to upload it so other people can use it. So basically what you're going to do is open the folder, and where it says packages here, this is what you're going to open, and then share the folder. You understand? So this is basically what you are sharing. I don't know if you can rename this is probably this way because of the info we put in the project editor here. So that's probably why it's DNAK, but yeah. So basically what you're going to do, this is the folder you're going to share. So once people download it, all they need to do is copy the folder into the main FS20 folder, FS20, and then they will just put it in the community folder, and that's it. I copied it from these guys, how they did there, so you can see the layout is the same. So and then all your stuff with the textures are in here, and this is the BGL. So that's basically it. Although I'm not too sure about the shape files for the exclusions that we made, I'm not really sure about those, but yeah, this is basically, I've still not finished building the airport, so once I finish I'll see about those exclusion zones, if I got them correctly or something. But yeah, this is basically how I did mine. If there's a better way, please let me know, because the documentation is not really helping matters. So yeah. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to add before I go. So if like you close the sim and then you come back and you want to reload your project, so all you're going to do is come back here to DNAK, the main one, open the project. If you want, this is just if like you're doing something and then you want to reload it, and then click on the my scenery, my scene.bgl, whatever you named yours to, and then click on load in editor. So that's how you get your everything will come back so how it was. Although this time the polygons are back, so I don't really know. Before, like, the polygons weren't coming back for me, but now this time it's back. So just wait it to load everything back in. Yeah, so you see all the buildings are back in now. So if you want to, that's just how to do it, in case you wanted to know.